Hi, this is Russell, and I work at the video store, the place that we can go to every week when we're looking for something to watch. When the store is quiet, behind the counter with my friends that work here, we get to talk about the films in the series that we're loving. All right, let's do it. For the 200th time, let's open up the shop.
Did you see that thing yesterday on the TV? It was ready, yet to say.
How's it?
Morning.
Hello.
Give us a nice
Hello.
spirited hello. Welcome to the video store. How are you
Yes.
guys doing?
Good, Russell. How are you?
I'm great, man, because this is an exciting day.
Yes.
This is a big day. All right? We've got ourselves a G-Force,
Hello.
and we've got ourselves a Marigold,
Hello.
and you've got ourselves a Russell.
Yeah.
And welcome to the video store for
Yes.
what is the 200th time.
200 times, dude.
Can you believe it?
It's wild.
How long has it even been? I don't
It's-
even...
That thought just entered my head. I'm going to check when we started.
Okay, what I can say is, yeah, we have proudly done pretty much an episode a week, give or take a week or two.
Yes.
We have had, I must check the numbers, but the last I checked, the overall listens were past like 43,000 people.
Wow.
Which is lovely, which is
Yes.
just so good. And we've had such joy and fun doing this.
Yeah.
For me, this is my chance to keep like friendships, certain friendships alive and have this rare, uninterrupted, beautiful moment with people.
Yeah.
Because I think even in our day today, like Marigold, if you and I were trying to hang out, we'd probably meet at certain places or at bars or at night outs.
Yeah.
And we don't get 30, 40 minutes uninterrupted chats.
Yeah.
No.
And even when I bring certain guests on, like that is such a rare, special thing to have with someone.
Yeah.
When you really get to know them, and especially when it's someone like you don't know, and over 40 minutes you really get some place with them.
Yes.
Which is so exciting. And so it's been the biggest gift to me. It's been a very personal thing where I've just had the best time personally
Yes.
getting to also just, unpack these films and these TV shows and why they are special and why they deserve to be spoken about.
Yes.
And to share with people, especially with the guest chats, how these interesting jobs exist in the film industry. And just, what it means to, I think cinema can often show you what it means to be alive,
Yeah.
what it means to be a human, what it means to be living in this world when you've got these beautiful life-affirming movies or things that challenge you, that upset you, that affect you. And so we get to talk about all those things and we all get to come together once a week
Yeah.
and hang out.
Exactly.
And so it's been a great gift. And so for all those that have come along the way, and we've seen not only a bunch of people that listen religiously within the day that these episodes come out,
Yeah.
but also seeing the dots across the world in this map of the world where all these people are listening
Cool.
is exciting because I think you're reaching a lot of South Africans that are living abroad, which is very cool. But like I remember seeing one dot in Chile.
Yay.
Hey, whoever you are, like we appreciate you. You'd find this interesting. There
Yeah.
were a lot of dots and a lot of people listening from a little town in California.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck's that?
Yes.
That's odd. It's too much. It's too much to be ignored or
yeah.
coincidental. And upon a little Google sleuth, it was discovered that that's where your main VPNs kind of ping from.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So although the VPN is meant to shield where you are,
Yes.
it does route through a certain server,
Yeah.
and it's this place called like Ashburn or something.
Okay.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, oh, I've seen a lot of people listen to my show from Ashburn. What the fuck's that? And then you realize, like, okay, that's the VPN.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, that's cool. But for a while, in the beginning, in the early days, I was like, okay,
Cute
okay.
little small town.
Some people in California. Okay, I think it's Ashburn.
Cool.
Something like that. But what we're gonna do, and this is all very exciting, is that our 200th episode beautifully aligned around our end of year.
Yeah.
And it was a natural instinct the first year. I don't know whether you figured this out. What year did we start?
We started, our first episode went up on the 8th of June, 2022.
2022.
So it's like 3.5 years.
Okay, 21 to 25 is a blur to me.
Yes.
Like 2020 was significant.
Yeah.
2021 was interesting as we sort of clawed our way back into society. But like 22 to 24 is a blur.
Yeah.
It's just been good.
Right?
It's just been good.
It just feels like the same year.
When people ask when I worked in the bioscope, I'm always like, I don't know what year.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
And also with folks like yourself, Marigold, who was our events manager, cinema events manager for many years. I think it was many years.
It
was
feels
one
like
of,
that.
It was one of those things where like you just look up and you're like, wow, it's been how long?
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with this podcast where you
Yes.
just look up and go, it's been
200 episodes later.
200 episodes later.
Wild.
But it's just been such a fun, beautiful, effortless thing to do because we can carve out the time and we can do it. And the film and entertainment world just so regularly updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like 1 week is crazy from
Yeah.
the next. And we're seeing these films, especially like the kind of Netflix films that would shoot to number one, be in the zeitgeist, everyone's talking about it. And by next week, like
It's
we've
gone.
completely
Yeah.
forgotten
Yeah.
about it. It's so funny how those
wild.
things work. So yeah, what we're going to do is make this our most rented episode.
Yeah.
Which is the tradition around this time of year. We've released a few of these now, which is our most rented, which is the best of the year.
Yeah.
So these are the things that have been rented from our video store the most.
Cool.
And what we want to do this year is continually expand upon the kooky categories, the interesting categories, and all the different awards, because
Yes.
these are always around the award season. And of course, there's always these big kind of Oscar tentpole awards, you know, film, writing, directing, script. But we don't want to do that. We want to have our own unique awards.
Yeah.
So we're going to go, it's just the three of us. Shame, a lot of our other team members have already started traveling.
Yes.
One of which is sick. Another one of which has been so overworked that he overslept today's shift. But we are going to hear from them throughout today's shift as they're going to return some stuff and give us their categories and their awards. So that's Cole, Sam, and Perrin will chime in. And then we're also hoping that a bunch of our great customers, exciting customers that we've had as special guests over the years will also chime in and give us their picks of the best of the year for them.
Cool.
So it'll be us three, myself, Graham, and Marigold,
Yeah.
along with lots of extra voice notes and people chiming in.
Cool.
All right, so we just literally, as per tradition,
Yeah.
go around in a circle and let's get started. I
Cool.
think G-Force, take us away.
You want me to start?
Yes.
Cool. My first one this year. Okay, because I should explain. We're doing this a bit earlier than we normally do. So normally over December, we kind of take the time to catch up on all of our movies. Hasn't
Okay.
happened this year.
Oh, do we normally do the most rented in Jan?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's usually our first episode back after like a December break. But it's fine.
Oh, God. I can't
It's
even.
fine. Which inevitably means that stuff like Marty Supreme and Avatar and Hamnet are going to be left out, unfortunately. We just haven't seen any of those yet. A lot of them haven't made it to South African cinemas, so we will see them next year.
Yes.
So what I've done is I've categorized mine in different ways. So my first category is the best movie that didn't actually come out this year. So what always happens is because we live in South Africa, we often get movies late.
Okay.
So sometimes movies come out the year before and we'll only get them like 6 months later or whatever. I think
Okay.
I've done one of these every single year, but this time My choice is Better Man.
Okay.
Which came out in 2024, but we only got it in like April of 2025.
Yes. So that
Yes.
definitely qualifies.
Exactly. So technically it didn't come out in 2025, but I'm counting it.
No, I
Right.
think that's 100%.
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen Better Man, Marigold? Do you
haven't,
know
no.
about it?
No, I know nothing about
Okay.
it.
This is the Robbie Williams biopic
Yeah.
Okay.
where he was a monkey.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know about that?
Robin Williams.
Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The British pop star.
Yes.
Which very famously was like, he famously never broke America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And had this huge, massive career, and then arguably has been quiet as he, funny enough, ended up living in America.
Yeah.
Then it took a Netflix show to remind the world of just how
It was great. It was
incredibly
a great documentary.
popular and scandalous and amazing and incredible his career was,
Yeah.
which kind of prickled the ears of America, but it didn't exactly have them wake up and realize,
Yeah.
because at this point it's just a little bit too far gone.
Yeah.
But then this incredible film was made with
Yeah.
Michael Gracie, who did The Greatest Showman.
Yes.
So certainly a guy who knows how to achieve a really good musical movie. And it came out, and we all loved it.
Yeah.
But it
I
was
loved
it was a little bit of a conundrum, and we've spoken about these conundrums where,
Yes.
you know, the mainstream folk who love Robbie Williams, or just kind of know Robbie Williams, aren't necessarily going to go and watch this
Yeah.
big swing of a musical movie.
Yeah.
And the people who like art house musical movies aren't Robbie Williams fans.
No, not necessarily.
So it did get a little bit lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really loved it.
Yeah,
and,
so did I.
I
and
feel
it's,
like my mum would go crazy for it.
but I
would love
think
it.
I honestly think you would love it. I think,
think so
everyone
too,
would love it.
yeah.
You just
Yeah.
needed to see it. And so I remember
Yeah.
our hope was that once it was on streaming, it would really take off. I
Where
don't
can
quite-
you watch it?
I have no idea. The only place I've seen it is to rent or buy on Apple TV.
Okay.
I think
It's
it
not-
might have come to ShowMax.
So I love
Oh,
Robbie.
really?
I do love Robbie.
Okay. Yeah, it's this is probably the one. If I'm gonna, I won't go on all my talking points because I wrote down a lot of like notes for everything.
No, but please, let's hear
But
it.
it's, I think it's interesting. It still follows like the exact same structure that every other musical biopic follows. That should have stopped after Walk Hard because Walk Hard just like ripped it apart. But
What's Walk Hard?
the Dewey Cox story, the one with
Walk Hard.
yes.
Yeah.
yeah, that movie which like made fun of every single thing about musical biopics.
Yeah.
And they just continue to make them in exactly the same way for some reason.
Yeah, it's a little bit like we can't make a superhero movie after Deadpool and Wolverine because it just shits on it.
Yeah.
But it has this central like it's like creative choice is just the central batshit idea, which is that your main character is an anthropomorphic chimpanzee, which is never addressed. The movie never addresses it. It treats like the whole subject matter of the movie is treated the way you normally treat musical numbers. Musical numbers are abstract; they're not literal. Your whole movie is treated like unliterally. It's entirely subjective in that Robbie Williams isn't literally a monkey.
Yeah,
It's just that's the way he sees himself. It started with there were this series of like audio recordings that Robbie Williams did that he just told his entire life story.
Yeah,
And Michael Gracie listened to those, and Robbie Williams kept referring to himself as a performing monkey.
yeah.
So Michael Gracie went, "What if we did that literally? What
Yeah.
if he's actually a performing monkey?"
Because the mistake and some of the weak parts of a biopic is who do you cast
Yeah.
Yes.
and who can represent you and be
Exactly.
you. In one or two cases, which I think is really interesting, in a case like a film Kneecap, you actually have the
Them.
band
Yes,
Kneecap be
exactly.
themselves. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was exciting and different. But otherwise, you're playing this game of like, when am I lost? When do I see Springsteen? When do I
Exactly.
see Jeremy Allen White? And it also just constantly reminds you that this is play and
Yeah.
someone is
Yeah.
acty
Yeah.
because they are
Exactly.
putting on a wig or wearing a mouth guard to look like Freddie
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury.
Exactly. It makes the suspension of disbelief so much easier because we never have to think about, is that Robbie Williams? We just invest in Robbie the chimpanzee.
Yeah.
You know, I think it works really, really well. And the fact that it's not like a glossy Hollywood like sanitized movie at all. It's actually quite an unflattering movie a lot of the time.
Yeah.
He's often like not a likable character, and he's alienating people. It feels very subjective from Robbie Williams' point of view, but it also feels relatively honest.
100%. It's super vulnerable.
Yes.
And it also just ties up in such a nice way.
Yeah.
That, to me, if I had to maybe start giving awards,
Yes.
that would be my favorite last second of a movie
Okay.
in 2025.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I also think a lot of these movies have been out, so we can talk. It's teensy little bit of spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to ever ruin the movie. We don't ever do that here, but I feel like these films have been out for long enough that we can perhaps mention these things. So like it just ends with him, this voiceover of him going like something along the lines of, you know, take me or leave me.
Yeah.
This is me. Otherwise, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And it ends. That's how it ends. It ends with him going, go fuck yourself. And it's like, fuck, that's great.
Yeah.
And it just leaves you in the cinema going like, fuck, that was
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done.
Yeah.
That's
I also
great.
like the way it's musical numbers. Often in these movies, what happens is the whole movie just like slams on the brakes so that we can watch the musician perform.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because like that's what they're famous for, and people are here to hear the songs. But in this, the music functions the way it does in a musical, where they actually use the songs to advance the story and all the characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really clever.
Yeah.
It's really clever filmmaking.
Lovely. Okay, so
Great movie.
This is Better Man.
Yes.
And
Okay.
over to Miss Marigold.
Top movie, top documentary, or top series? That's the question.
Let's start with the slightly more obscure one. Let's go with documentary first.
Documentary, not too obscure. I'm sure.
No, but
that
I mean,
it
of
went,
the choices,
yeah,
it's
out of
it's the more.
Got you.
Yeah.
So I know that it shook up everyone when it came out. Was Unknown Number, the high school catfish, and everyone was talking about it. Everyone was going crazy about it.
Yes.
Yeah. The Netflix
Okay.
documentary. So that was probably mine, like my top documentary that I was like, what is going on?
No, that definitely captured the world's attention. And I
Everyone.
unfortunately did hear the reveal.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, no, it's one of
Number.
those so it's kind of a bit sickening, to be honest.
It's awful.
But it's one of those really unique moments
Okay.
in social media, and Marigold can give the back of the
Yeah.
box. But I kind of remember it at the time when it first came out
Yeah.
as a story.
Right.
And then, of course, we just naturally move on because of the flood of shit coming our way.
Yes.
And then it was obviously rife for a Netflix true crime kind of
Okay.
series. But yeah, lay the foundation of it.
So it's basically this teenage girl who starts getting these text messages,
Yeah.
and they get worse and worse and worse, and it's bordering harassment. And this town does not know what's going on. Now her friends start getting messages, and more people start getting messages, and the reveal of who the catfish is.
Yes.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to put it lightly.
Yeah, no, it's quite something.
It is. It's dark, and I also think that with that documentary, personally, just like looking into it afterwards, I think that it was a little bit irresponsible. My
right.
personal opinion,
What, for them to make it?
how they made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. When you look into more of the receipts that were sent that they hadn't included, the story's a lot darker than what we watched.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Because often it's the other way around. Often they
Yeah.
are trying to make
dramatized.
Sensational.
something
Sensationalize it, yeah.
far more dramatic than it was, yeah.
But I thought what was crazy about this thing, this documentary in particular, is that you actually see the person, the perpetrator, you know,
Right.
and you have a conversation with them.
Okay.
And
So the filmmakers are interviewing them.
they're interviewing the person who commits
Okay.
the crime.
And because of how bizarre it all is, it's insane that these people are condoning it. Or
And
these people that
they get a platform.
they get a
Yeah.
platform to talk
talk.
about it, and that they actually probably get something out of it.
100%. 100%.
Oh god.
So that's where I was like, oh, okay. you know.
Yeah, you feel a bit dirty.
Feel a bit dirty, and you also giving them, like, it was very, in my opinion, when you find out who the person is, it's like a sob story, you know.
Right.
It's like, "Oh, poor me, you know." But it's like
Oh, that was the defense of the
defense,
person.
yeah. And it's like, well, you did, yeah. Well, anyway.
But I mean, do you think it in any way bettered society where someone could watch this and get some lesson? Because that's the other thing about
Yeah.
true crime, is that often it doesn't help you, because
Yes.
this is one single completely unhinged person.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen to everyone.
No.
So it's like, did we get anything out of this, or was it just a
No.
juicy?
It's more, but that's the kind of
just a
thing with
juicy
true
single
crime. It's
story,
like,
yeah.
It's always like, I mean, this was such a random thing for me to watch because I hadn't read anything about it. I literally just clicked on something and
Yes.
then ended up, like, I wanted to draw and watch something, and then I was like, what? Oh my goodness. Like, what is happening?
Interesting.
But I don't think that it really helps society in
Because
any way. It's
something
kind
like-
of,
something like the Tinder swindler, when that came out, although he was this one unique man who managed to do all of this remarkable
Yeah.
stuff and get all this money from people, a little part of him is in everyone, in the sense that anyone who is talking to you could be this kind
And
of
online,
swindler.
you know?
And these are the flags that could come your
Mm-hmm.
way, where you never quite meet the person in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, at a moment, they do ask for money. And like,
yeah.
and also you learning what con means. It's
Yeah.
like you have the confidence in this person. He would never be, just taking your money.
Yeah.
No.
And so you can, every, vulnerable girl, or the
Or
opposite,
person, yeah.
could learn from these
100%.
certain stuff. Okay, but in this case, it was this
It
crazy
is.
single moment.
And it's a little bit, I felt a little bit icky afterwards because it was also kind of, children are involved in this documentary. And in my opinion, it kind of also feels a little bit exploitative of their experience, you know?
Okay.
What is it called again?
It is called Unknown Number, The High School Catfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is on Netflix.
It is
Right.
on Netflix.
But it stuck with you, and it stuck
It
with
stuck
the world,
with
and
the
and
world,
that's why
yeah.
it was one of the biggest Netflix
it was the
shows.
first thing I thought of.
I said at the start of the shift that we have these big zeitgeisty moments, and then we move on next week. Like that one did stick around
It
for a while.
shook,
So
and-
that's a good pick, because it really was a moment.
Social media went crazy,
Yeah.
like the memes were insane as well. Like
Yeah.
people were
Right.
going,
And I know sometimes these people, this could have happened 5 years ago, but for everyone involved, they're like, "Duh, everyone is harassing me like it happened last week."
Yeah.
It's like, I've lived with this for 5 years.
yeah,
Here's another wave.
yeah.
So wild. Lovely. Good pick. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. For me, I really wanted, and I'm going to find a spring of point. For me, I talk a lot about getting the gooey,
Yes.
the gooey moment. And for me, what that is the magic of cinema
Yeah.
taking over. I often feel like it's a magic show. And I often go into a lot of screenings as an exhibitor, thinking very critically, I'm staring into the shadows, as I've said, to sort of be inspecting that particular cinema's lamp. I have very many different ways of watching movies, which often are on weekday mornings at 9 o'clock as an
Yes.
exhibitor. So it's quite hard for me to often be entranced and swept away by a film. So if I do feel that, I pay attention.
Cool.
And so I'm going to give my Russell's most gooey moment to the drumming scene of Life of Chuck.
Cool.
Okay, so I want to talk about Life of Chuck in general. This is one of the more hidden and surprising gems of the year. It is an adaptation of a Stephen King short, which I've now since read.
Cool.
Because I went out immediately and bought the book. And it is just one of these bold, unique, lovely complicated puzzles of a movie, but tied together in such a beautiful way. And basically, it is the story of a man's life, a guy by the name of Chuck, who for the most part as an adult is played by Tom Hiddleston. And the film is divided up into, I think it's 3 chapters.
Yeah.
But you get the last chapter first, the last chapter of his life. And what it is this, it's about the world coming to an end. So we're in this middle school, we're in this little town in America, but it starts with the internet going. It then starts with the world just sort of slowly imploding and giving up, and society crumbling. And it's quite odd to see that, because while all of this is happening, these signs are coming up around the town and around the world, billboards and adverts and messages congratulating this person, Chuck, on his however many great years of service, of work. And of course, it's this completely fantastical, crazy, bizarre thing, and you subject it to the point of view of all these other characters as this world is imploding, slowly disappearing. And once again, it's been a long time now. I feel like we can talk about it, and I don't think it's necessarily a spoiler, but what you are witnessing there is this is a embodiment of his life, and it's an embodiment of his sickness and him slowly dying.
Okay.
The book, funny enough, actually holds your hand a bit more to tie that together.
Right.
Then you, and so this first chapter ends with basically the end of the movie, where the world fucking implodes. These characters are sitting watching the stars sort of die out, and you sort of are wondering, like, what the fuck is this? And then other chapters of this story involve him as a child, and these moments in the kitchen dancing with his mother and learning how to dance in high school. But then there's this one scene in the movie where you have a character setting up a set of drums in a town square to busk. And they start this beat, and our character Chuck stops his routine. He's there in this town for a conference, and he stops his routine. He puts down his bag and starts dancing to this drummer playing. In the book, it's a young white male. In the movie, it's this very cool black chick being a drummer. And the world stops for him to just enjoy dancing. At this point, he knows he's got cancer. So that's also partly why this world was slowly degrading, is because it was a way of showing the cancer in his body slowly dying. But now this is about in the middle of the movie. We get given this scene in this town square where him and this other random woman who was just walking and having her own life. Her own life story was the fact that I think recently she'd just been dumped by a boyfriend or something. And these two have this beautiful dance sequence in this town square to what is just percussive drumming. I am a drummer. I have always been a drummer. I've obviously been a bassist in Short Straw for a long time, but I came from drums. That means a lot to me. Throughout the movie and the advertising of Life of Chuck, you get the words life affirming, and they use that a lot. And so this was one of those moments where it was about stopping your daily grind, literally kind of, smelling the roses. Well, not literally, but I mean figuratively smelling the roses, literally, just having this life-affirming moment. And it was just such a beautiful sequence, and I just remember getting the gooeys. And just going like, fuck, this is a special movie. It's great. There's this sort of little fantasticalness to it about this room in the top of their house. Where there's visions of your future, and it's so expansive. And there's also just this lovely moment in the film where the phrase "I contain multitudes"
Yeah, I was going to mention
is presented, and that was this moment where a teacher sort of takes him as a little kid and sort of puts her hand on either side of his head and said, "Between my hands, like in your head, you contain multitudes."
Yeah.
Which is this idea that this whole universe exists in your head. And that's partly what you were, well, that's not partly, that's literally what you were seeing as the first act, which is the multitudes and the world that was in his head.
Yeah. And all the people that you see there are other people you see throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So these are like the people he's met throughout his life, kind of existing in his own subconscious, I guess.
Yeah, exactly that. It's got Mark Hamill.
Yes, Mark Hamill's great in this.
And what it is, just to tie it up, is once again, this is a Stephen King book.
Yeah.
And Stephen King famously is a person of horror
Yeah,
and
best known for
understands
horror.
the sort of depravity of society. But that also means, and this is partly what he explains and did around the press of this movie, is that like to understand death and the darkness of life, which he is so good at, whether it's, you know, The Shining or Carrie or Pet Cemetery and It and all of that, you have to understand life. And you have to understand what it means to be human and the glory and the power of that in order to give the darkness where that life is taken away or that idea is fucked with.
Yeah.
And so you've got that kind of brain writing this beautiful life-affirming story, and then a very similar thing happening with the director, Mike Flanagan, who is
Really interesting.
known for horror. So here are these two horror minds giving you this beautiful life-affirming story.
That's beautiful.
And so Life of Chuck was definitely one of my favorites.
It's going to be on my list. I'm going to have to watch it.
Okay.
Very cool.
Let's take this little moment now to hear from our chum Kolski. This is Cole Matthews, who is obviously a regular behind the counter here at the video store, who has earned one of the awards, which is the Cole Shriek moment.
Yes.
The best Cole, the biggest or loudest shriek from Cole for the year. He was the chap who recorded episode number 1 with me. So very dear to my heart. And let's get Cole's returns.
My pick for this year is going to be Begonia, and that's mostly because it was the most surprising cinematic experience I've had this year. I went in not knowing anything about it, and it just did things that blew me away. The cool thing about the plot is that it deals with Emma Stone's character, who's this billionaire Silicon Valley corporate manifestation of greed. And it juxtaposes that with Jesse Plemons, who's at the bottom of the social hierarchy, a factory worker who has absolutely no power. And the way that they regain that power over the world is through misinformation, right? So it's really about the world we live in, this world that's dominated by billionaires and also misinformation because of social media and, you know, the complete disillusionment that has around the world that we live in. And the cool thing it does is both of those people as representatives of the human race are then juxtaposed with nature, and we're shown that we are just not in harmony with nature at all. I'm trying not to give away the plot as much as possible, but it just does it in a way that's incredibly engaging, and all around this plot of a hostage situation where Jesse Plemons' character is convinced that she's an alien, right? It feels like it's completely insane as a premise. And then within that, you're watching these characters problem solve their way through this situation of one trying to get the truth and one trying to make sure that she doesn't get killed, trying to survive, right? Another favorite part of the movie is the score. I feel like it does a lot of narrative heavy lifting, which was really surprising. It has these moments where it takes center stage and just completely dominates the sonic landscape, where it's doing all of this subtextual revealing and you're thinking about the story as you're listening to music, right? How often does that happen? So I absolutely love that. A lot of people are going to remember it because of the, you know, very subversive and surprising rug pull that happens in the third act. I don't think it's divorced from anything that it's talking about before that. It's got that signature Yorgos Lanthimos weirdness and strangeness to it that just makes everything just feel a little bit more odd and eerie. But then on top of that, it's got Oscar-winning performances, and it's just an incredible film from start to finish. My only picks for the awards are going to be the biggest Cole shriek, because I'm Cole, so I'm the authority, you know, on on what the scariest moments is this year. And it's 100% that moments in Weapons where she lies back in bed and looks at the roof. I am never going to sleep peacefully again because now I have to sleep on my side and not look at the roof as a result of that scene. It completely made me shit my pants. So there's that moment. I think aside from that, my biggest gooey moments was probably going to be in the threesome. I felt like it was such an interesting movie. It was also hilariously funny. I haven't seen a South African cinema that vocally engaged as a group in such a long time. Maybe like Endgame is where I felt that last. But this time it was incredibly surprising. Biggest swing is an incredibly difficult one. I think it's going to be a three-way tie for me between Begonia, Sinners, and The Life of Chuck. I think all of those films were trying to do something stylistically that was incredibly unique this year, and they did them well. I think they were all really solid movies. Sinners and Begonia are obviously at the top of that list, being two of the best films of the year. And a special shout out to Wake Up Dead Man, because Rian Johnson with his Knives Out trilogy is just always doing something challenging and new and different, and not just repeating a formula, right? It's still a murder mystery, but with Daniel Craig's character, but it's still trying to set it in a different place and dress it with all of these different layers. So an incredibly entertaining film. Those are my thoughts for the year.
Thank you, Kolsky.
Thank you, Cole. Okay, let's move on to my next category, which is the best movie unceremoniously dumped onto Netflix. Netflix will occasionally make a big deal out of like their movies. Something like Frankenstein, they made a big deal out of. Wake Up Dead Man just came out that they'll make a big deal out of. But every now and then, they will make something really, really good and then just sort of slop it into their bucket of crap.
Okay.
They do this a lot, and I would say the best thing they did this year was with Train Dreams.
I agree.
I loved Train Dreams. So this is from Clint Bentley, who's the same guy who wrote Sing Sing.
Yes.
Which was, I think, both of our favorite movies last year.
100%.
We both picked that as our number one. He wrote and directed this, and it's just a lovely little like slice of life kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's not narrative driven. It's very just like a character driven drama throughout this guy's life.
Yeah.
It's big on vibes.
Yeah.
The cinematography is unbelievable.
It's the prettiest, it's the most
movie.
prettiest painting of a movie
Yeah.
you've ever seen.
I think it's Joel Edgerton who's the lead in this. I think it might be his best performance.
Yeah.
And he's a great actor, but in this he's like really, really incredible.
Yeah.
I don't have too much to say about it because we spoke about it like 2 weeks ago on the show. It just came out.
But I can use this as a
But
chance to perhaps
it's beautiful.
pitch it to you,
Yes.
Marigold,
Yeah.
is that it's the story of this guy's life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're in the somewhat of the Wild West.
Yeah, it's early 20th century.
Yeah, just as the Wild West started becoming hit by the Industrial Revolution in
Yes.
America. So it's the real sort of start of society
Yeah.
where you no longer, well, you still lived in a little cottage down in the river and sort of fended for yourself, just as society started growing and cities started building. And so you get to see a little bit of society growing through his vision as this guy like goes into a city for the first time and like kind of sees the fact that space exploration is
Yes.
is happening in the later part of his life. But it's beautiful, and it's about finding the remarkable in the unremarkable. So he's just living a simple life, but you get given this beautiful story. So I actually, funny enough, last night was in my own personal life often recommending what people could watch,
Right.
and something I thought my folks could actually enjoy.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Where I was like, it's quite remarkable of a movie, and it's pretty, but I just sort of also said to them, you got to be in the right headspace. It's a lovely vibe movie, which is it's more about its essence and its vibration than it is about like, oh my god, and then at the end it does this. It's like it's not about plot. It's about the
journey.
once again also just the beauty of the world.
Yeah. But also,
And-
like, a big part of it is just grief. It's like dealing with like severe tragedy, like almost unimaginable tragedy, but how this guy kind of like lives through it.
Yeah.
It's
No,
really,
and he was
really
well
good.
cast. Joel Edgerton is well cast
It's
as
great.
as the guy who has a little bit of pain in his eyes.
Yeah. And William H. Macy is so good in this.
He is good.
He just plays a small role, but he's very good.
There's also the dude from The Office in the beginning, not The Office, the dude from Parks and Rec.
Oh.
In the beginning of Parks and Rec, there was that one character who was the more straight man.
Okay.
The guy with the dark hair who was the town planner.
Right.
Who was the boyfriend of
I don't remember.
Quincy Jones's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Rashida Jones.
Right.
But there's one or two little moments that are actually quite comical.
Yes.
There's one or two little moments that are almost like a sort of Wes Anderson-y setup where it's in the single frame, one or two little moments happen.
Yeah.
So it's not all just
Doom and gloom,
art house
yeah.
and trauma. It's a very pretty,
the
beautiful
balance,
film.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's Train Dreams.
On Netflix.
I would love to continue this grief train
Okay.
because I watched a movie about grief this year, but it didn't come out this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
We can maybe give it a special mention then.
a
Yeah.
little special. We're on the topic of grief and gooey moments,
Yeah.
So I rewatched Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Okay.
This and that's what your nomination made me think of, is that gooey feeling and also that metaphor for the world.
Yes.
So
I have Beasts of the Southern Wild has got a very close place in my heart.
Oh, yeah.
I remember watching it at the Durban Film Festival in the year that it came out.
yeah.
And there's this beautiful moment in the beginning of the movie where they're at like a sort of nighttime party. And our main character, who's this beautiful, beautiful little girl,
Yeah.
she's like a sort of mixed race girl. She went on to be the Black Annie. When they redid Annie with Jamie Foxx, she was Annie.
Okay.
And she's got this sort of beautiful fro, and she wears these gumboots. And she's her character was called
Hush Puppy.
Hush Puppy. But there's this beautiful scene in the beginning in this party where she has these little almost like flares, these like little firework flares, and she's running. And it became the poster.
Supposed to, yeah.
But when we talk about the magic of cinema and the magic of this communal watching moment,
Yeah.
I remember being in this movie going, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" And this complete stranger next to me going, "Oh my."
Yeah, yeah.
It just sort of said something like, "Oh my,"
That's the
or
movie.
"Oh God,"
Yeah.
where they vocalized this
You do
this
get
beauty.
that feeling. That's a very gooey movie for me. And not to like trauma dump or anything, but my dad passed away this year, so it was a movie that I rewatched. It took me time, but I kept talking about it with my mom. And it's also like it's her world ending because her dad's passing away.
Yes.
And it was a really, really important movie for me this year.
Okay. So then we can qualify it.
We
It's,
can-
my most important movie this year.
Yeah, it was my most
We
important
don't
movie this year.
it doesn't I don't think it necessarily has to be about movies this year, but I think that's the essence of what we're trying to do today. But if it was the most important one for you, then that counts.
100%.
It's set in
In the bathtub.
yeah, it's like New Orleans kind of during a flooding
Yeah.
where levees are breaking, and it's also just to start touching on Sinners, which we will,
Yes,
I'm sure, be
absolutely.
talking about a little bit more today. But
Absolutely.
a rich tradition of storytelling, especially in that old American South, especially in a more African American setting, is this idea of like magical realism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Toni Morrison books and that kind of literature would have someone, I'll never forget, I think it's in Song of Solomon, the husband or the father flew away, as in he left.
Right.
Yeah. He left town. But the way it's explained in the book is that his feet left the ground and he floated, and
Right.
this magic of sort of flying through the sky and flying away. in Beasts of the Southern Wild, they're these animals, these
Yeah.
beasts, and of course you kind of see them in a certain point in the movie, but it's all
magic.
It's all magic.
It's all magic. And it's so cool to watch it again now because I watched it as a little girl. And Hush
Right.
Puppy was like my favorite character ever. And then rewatching it now as an adult, it has a different kind of magic, you know?
Right.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So for me, I would love to. This is perhaps to touch on your big swings.
Yes.
Graham loves a big swing here, and we talk about that. I think one of the biggest swings of the year, which I think paid off the most,
Right.
was F1.
Oh, right.
F1, the movie. I got to see it in IMAX.
Cool.
I originally thought this was going to be too mainstream or too sort of big of a product for the Bioscope, our little 47-seater indie cinema.
Right.
But I watched that movie and I thought, no, fuck it. Obviously, the diehards and the purists, or perhaps the F1 fans,
Yeah.
should see this in IMAX. But it actually had so much more substance to it that it could be enjoyed on a smaller screen like the Bioscope.
Right.
And I just thought it was the perfect picture.
Right.
You know, the real like Hollywood picture. You get the big action stars, you put in all this money. It was famously one of the most expensive movies perhaps ever made.
Yes.
But what a big swing and what a big, I think, product that just ticked all the boxes and was just a good fucking time. So yeah,
Cool.
I think it should go to F1.
Yeah. It's a fun movie.
It's
it looks
fun.
incredible. Like the technology, the way they shot it is really interesting, and they executed it incredibly well.
Yeah, they developed they held out and used certain cameras that, you
The,
know,
like
were
camera
kind
rigs
of-
that they attached to the cars were like so interesting, and they filmed at real Formula One races,
yeah.
and then like through maybe the best visual effects of the entire year in
Yeah.
theaters at least.
Yeah.
They were placing their cars in and like changing other cars to like change the branding, but you can't tell. Like at no point could I ever tell what was real and what wasn't,
Yeah.
which is like insane.
No, lovely.
Which ties into my second one.
Let's go for it.
I'm calling this I have a few names for this. It's the Good Lord, Would You Look at That award, aka the We Really Take This Shit for Granted award, aka the Pay Visual Effects Artists What They Deserve award.
Okay, I love it.
So, geez, like the opening shot of season 3 of Prehistoric Planet
Okay.
over on Apple TV Plus
Okay.
is of a woolly mammoth in a blizzard.
Okay.
And it's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
It absolutely broke my brain.
oh, cool.
The visual effects are so flawless. If you showed someone who didn't know what computers were, they go, "How the hell did you film that?" It's literally perfect.
Okay.
You can
have to go watch
you
this
can
now.
see the icicles forming on its eyelashes.
That's
It is
astounding.
unbelievable, and the whole show looks like that. It is perfectly photoreal from beginning to end, and it's all these like CGI Ice Age animals.
Okay, so just for starters, you said this is Prehistoric.
Prehistoric Planet over on Apple TV, which is this is the 3rd season now. So it's like a Planet Earth kind of series.
Yes.
But instead it's
Sick.
the first 2 seasons are about dinosaurs, and they're all CGI dinosaurs. The 3rd season is now set in the Ice Age. So it's woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers and etc.
Yeah, so it's like Jurassic Park meets Richard David.
Yeah, yes.
Which one? Which one?
David Attenborough.
David
So the
Attenborough.
first 2 seasons are David Attenborough. The 3rd season is narrated by Tom Hiddleston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think Attenborough had since passed away by then.
No, he's still alive.
Is he still alive?
No. He's like 100 years old, but he's
That's
still
right.
alive.
He is still alive.
Yeah.
In my head, he
And he's
passed away
still
this
doing
year.
stuff, but he's obviously just much more selective. He's only doing a handful of things here and there. But all 3 seasons of the show, the first 2 seasons, they were done by MPC, who was a visual effects studio. They've had a lot of problems with we spoke about the whole, what was it? Some huge company that owns these things went bankrupt, and a bunch of visual effects studios went out of business. But this one was done by Frame Store,
Okay.
who have very quickly become one of like the top 3 visual effects studios in the world. They worked on 8 of the 15 shortlisted Oscar VFX movies.
Okay.
They did Crypto, for example, in Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's.
But I think it's worth just touching on for a quick moment that when CGI was really taking hold,
Yes.
you have these beautiful, great examples of it in movies.
Yeah.
And then when just more of it was being used, more studios existed, more demand, more things, that you can have these products
Yeah.
coming out recently that kind of look a bit dog shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because they're cutting corners, they're just not doing everything 100% right, or
Yeah.
maybe the budgets aren't
Time and money.
being allocated, or they want to have these products out quicker.
That's the biggest problem.
So we're actually at this point where, ironically, everything should be getting better and better and better, and in
Yes.
some cases they do.
Yeah.
But some people are going, oh my God, the CGI of, the first Transformers, or
Yeah.
like certain things where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that looks better.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny that actually does exist as a thing. But where people are taking the time,
Yeah.
it seems like it's really working.
Oh, yeah. The thing is,
Okay.
these days, what happens is people think CGI is bad because they think they can always notice CGI. But what they only notice is bad CGI.
Yeah.
You never notice it when it's good.
Yeah.
Like they love to, and it's kind of compounded by the studios who are almost embarrassed by CGI these days. They like to talk about, oh, we did everything practical. It's all practical. Barbie's all practical. Top Gun Maverick's all practical. Top Gun Maverick has more visual effects shots in it than Black Panther.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. There
Okay.
are thousands of visual effects shots in those movies, and most of the time, the real planes are CGI.
Okay.
But they like to tell you that it's practical
Interesting.
because they think that's what audiences want to hear.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's wild. There's a series of videos on YouTube called No CGI is Just Invisible CGI or something like that.
Okay.
And it's like a series of, I think it's a 5-part video that this guy did.
Okay.
It's really good. That just breaks down like how visual effects, how studios are hiding visual effects or attempting to,
Yeah.
how it's hurting the industry and everything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another person who obviously is a big part of our video store team is Perrin,
Oh, yeah.
who has watched more movies
Than anyone else alive.
than everyone combined. If you follow him on social media, you'll see all his physical media coming in every
Yes.
week. He is an absolute delight, and I treasure his brain and his film knowledge.
Yes.
He very meticulously puts together his best of lists,
Yeah.
which we will probably get a more refined version of next year. But let's hear which films were, or TV shows were significant for him this
Cool.
year.
So obviously we've spoken about the big players like One Battlefield Another and Sinners. Those are definitely going to make my year-end list, which normally only comes out in March, just because there's still so many films that I need to watch that would qualify for that list, for my top 50 of, as it stands, obviously 2025. But yeah, I think what I'd like to do is highlight other films that we maybe haven't talked about before or deserve your attention. That'll definitely make my list. And yeah, the first movie up is Ephes, which is a great sports hangout comedy, and it is a baseball movie, and I firmly believe that American sports movies are the best sports movies. I mean, there's more classics than obviously soccer or rugby or cricket movies, and those tend to not be very good. Or at least I haven't seen a very good one of those. And yeah, baseball movies tend to have the best sports movies like Field of Dreams and Moneyball and Bull Durham and the like. But anyways, Ephes is just a great little hangout movie where it takes place over the course of a day, and it's a amateur baseball league match between two teams where set in the 90s in New England, and they are playing the final league game of the year, and it's on a baseball park that is hosting its final game ever before it gets demolished and turned into a school. And it's just a great little hangout movie where it's filled with a cast of mostly non-actors or amateur actors, and every now and then an actual professional retired baseball player shows up. But yeah, there's no real plot. It's just guys hanging out, playing a game. every now and then we literally just drop in on moments throughout of like conversations or chirping or the like, and it's just a lovely film that I could watch for hours on end, and it feels like a spectator movie, if you know what I mean, like how cricket you go and watch a test match and it's a spectator sport. You just sit and you absorb what you're seeing, and that's what Ephes feels like to me. And I don't like baseball at all, but this is a kind of movie I absolutely love. And yeah, Ephes, great movie. It's available on Mubi, the streaming app in the US and the UK. It's not available here, unfortunately. So the best way to get that is obviously you're going to have to sell the 7 Seas or support physical media and purchase the Blu-ray. So yeah, Ephes, great little movie. So awards, normally me and Cole have our favorite hang dong moment, which is normally a unsheathed penis on screen, which is still a very taboo piece of imagery in movies. The moment you see a penis on screen, your age restriction just jumps literally to the highest level, which is crazy. We're seeing it get more normalized, which is good because it shouldn't just be female nudity. But anyways, so the obvious hang dong that we can think of off the bat is 28 Years Later, which is, the giant elephant in the room with his swinging hog. And it's jarring, but I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with One Battle After Another. It's not an unsheathed penis. It's not hanging, but it's upright. And that is when Perfidia and Colonel Lockjaw, Sean Penn and Tiana Taylor's characters meet. And as she has him at gunpoint at like an ice facility that they're raiding, or the ice equivalent, right? And he's the boss of this operation, and she's part of the French 75 with Leo DiCaprio, who are these extreme left revolutionaries. And she tells him to stick it up, and what she means is his dick. So he gets an erection on the spot, and it's such a great moment between the two because it's this level of it's the horseshoe theory, right? Is that the far left and the far right are at the bottom of the horseshoe. They're both the beginning and the end, and they're so close to each other that they could be they're very similar to each other, right? In ideologies, extreme ideologies, and how they go about doing things. And these two characters are both the most extreme of their ideologies. She is a violent, she's by any means necessary revolutionary, and he's a by any means necessary conservative who, wants to dictate his law and his values. And this scene also sets forth what happens throughout, where this is a great moment because it's almost like they realize in this moment that they are each the danger that they actually desire. You know what I mean? Like, they hate each other on paper because they both represent the complete opposite values that they believe in. But the sense of danger and excitement in that moment is exactly what they feel they need. He doesn't get it in his daily life, and she doesn't get it from Leo DiCaprio, because obviously One Battle After Another has the hallmark themes of PTA with reinvention and dysfunctional families, and those two are there in plain sight, where he has to shed his revolutionary skin and look after his daughter, where she wants to just go and do what she's always done. And it's just a great introduction to these two characters, and I think that's the best penis-themed scene of the year.
All right. Thank you, P-Dog. Lekker.
Nice.
Okay. Marigold?
You said we were going to talk about it, so we should talk about it. Is Sinners.
Okay, let's do it.
I feel like we also spoke so much about Sinners when we all first
exactly.
watched it.
So I think what makes today special, I was just going to chime in, is all these little extra things, like a woolly mammoth scene,
exactly.
or a man dancing to a drummer. I
Exactly.
think what we hope to achieve today is just the extra
Something
things
you
of the
didn't
year.
see, yeah.
But we will talk about certain tentpoles,
Yeah.
and let's do some of that now.
Yeah.
For me, yes, it would have to be the best movie I watched this year.
Cool.
No, totally.
It was Sinners, yeah.
It was Sinners.
It was
That's
Sinners.
incredible.
Yeah, you came with us to the IMAX screening.
I did, yeah.
We had a lovely giveaway of tickets, which was awesome, because at that point, I think it's worth mentioning that the studio and all its affiliates, including the distributor here in South Africa, kind of didn't know what they had on their hands. And they, to fill the room, gave us some tickets to give away, which was cool.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't going to fill itself,
Yeah.
that opening night, because it was a little, I think people were a little unsure. I had already seen it and I wanted to see it again.
Yeah.
And I'd brought most of you guys along going, guys, trust
have
me.
to, yeah.
Trust me, you want to watch this movie. And you want to watch it in IMAX, or you want to watch it in this kind of environment. Yeah, tell us about it for you.
For me, I mean, like you said, you told a whole lot of us, we have to come watch this. And I didn't know anything. I didn't watch a trailer. I didn't know anything about it. And again, like, I feel like I've already spoken about how much I love Sinners.
Yeah.
But it was such a, that movie,
But all these months later, what sticks with you?
the scene. The scene.
The scene, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
The scene. And that's such a gooey feeling. Like, that's a gooey feeling, is that scene of going through time and music. And it's just, there's a lot of things that stick with me, though. And I would say, like, thinking about things historically post watching Sinners, you know, and having like a lot of discussions with people. So I have these American friends. They're both African American, and speaking about Sinners from their perspective as well, and learning a little bit more about African American history while they learn a little bit more about South African, you know, history.
Yeah.
Sinners kind of set that tone because we got together and all started talking about this. It was a very important movie this year.
It was amazing. And I really, as much as we saying, hey, Paul Thomas Anderson should finally get his Oscar, I think Coogler could get it, eh? I think he deserves it. I think he deserves it because it was such a beautiful, unique vision.
Yeah.
Yes, it was similar to, you know, Dawn of the Dead. What's the Tarantino?
Oh Lord.
It was Dawn.
No, it's not Dawn of the Dead.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn. Thank you.
But it was so much more than that. Okay, so your first half of this movie is that beautiful, historical, Deep South Oscar film. You know, beautiful costumes, characters, and we're going into this night
Yes.
where these two brothers are returning back from their adventures, and they want to open up a juke joint, and it's this kind of color purple sort of time point, touch point. So it feels like we're somewhere between a Toni Morrison book and an Alice Walker. But then it gets fun.
Yes.
And
It's
it
so
turns
fun.
it turns into a fucking vampire movie.
yeah.
And added to that, something that Dusk Till Dawn doesn't have, is it's this also got this other layer, which is this beautiful ode to music.
Yeah.
And what music represents for a culture that has used music. You know, we made jokes about it when the South Africans won the World Cup. The white guys sang "Ole Ole Ole." We kind of have like one song in the back pocket, or maybe we can mumble our way through Shoshaloza. But in Monte Cassino, since the transformation, where you've got the Siya Khaleesi's and you've got black folk in South Africa far more interested in rugby than they ever did before, you have all this beautiful song that was trailing through Monte Cassino where everybody was singing songs, and it's like there are cultures that use music.
It's
Right.
so
in ways in
incredibly
which other
important.
cultures don't.
Yeah.
You know, some use architecture and literature, some use songs, some use, you know, and so it was just so cool to get this unfiltered and very authentically feeling black film
Yeah.
that we could all enjoy.
Yeah.
Something you'd appreciate, Marigold, from spending a lot of time in the lobby of the Bioscope, is that was the one film this year, let's maybe make this an award, the most spoken about film in the lobby of the Bioscope,
Yeah.
which
Cool.
was Sinners, which was these young kids, perhaps a little more black than white, who walked into the lobby, saw the poster and went, "Ooh, Sinners, are you screening Sinners?"
Cool.
Where like, without sounding like John Cusack in Championship Vinyl, I didn't want to be too much of a dick, but it was like, if I'm a cinema and I have it on display,
I might be.
fuck, dude, yes, we're screening it. But it just showed, this is a movie I know.
Yeah.
This is a movie I want to see. This is an experience I didn't think I could have, which is watching it in a cinema at potentially this cinema. So it was a very lovely,
It's special.
pointed to, spoken about film.
Cool.
Yeah. Special.
And it's totally worth rewatches. When
I wanna, yeah.
when I rewatched it with you guys, just that simple scene of going from the one side of the street to the other.
Yes. Oh my God.
I didn't pick it up the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one side was the black side
Yeah.
and the other side was the white side. And they showed it in a way that was perhaps so lovely and subtle in the
'Cause
beginning.
It's one shot.
It's
hey?
this one single shot
Yeah.
as they walk from the one side of the street to the other. But watch it and watch how it changes and watch how the people change
Interact
and
differently,
who
yeah.
you see and how they act. Just what that snake represents in the beginning. And like that you have scenes that start with a conversation happening midway. And it's mumbly and you don't always pick it up. But when you listen to it the second time, you're like, I can understand more about what you were talking about
Totally.
because I've heard it once and now when I hear it the second time, I can concentrate on what you're saying. So the conversations that they have with the little kid in the back, where he's sitting in the back, you know, it's like, it's unfiltered, which is great. So yeah, Sinners,
Top.
top, really. I mean, it's the obvious. It's one of the obvious. There's one other obvious one which we'll, I'm sure, touch on, but it was worth bringing up now. So yeah,
100%.
that's great.
Definitely.
Okay, so for me, we've also got. I want to kind of celebrate comedy in some way. I want to celebrate what films kind of made us laugh the most or the funniest moment.
Yes.
And what I think is worth a mention, well, it was surprising, is the special on Netflix with Matt Rife.
Okay.
And it's called Matt Rife Unwrapped. It's a Christmas special. And I just think what makes it special is that it's a crowd work show. So he starts with prompts and he's got his like usual stand-up shtick.
Okay.
Matt Rife is famously a very white, handsome, young, like quite jockey, quite like brash comedian. And what I love about him is he very much owns what he is. And I think there's something quite special about that. It's like a comedian not trying to be someone else. And he very much owns who he is as like a little bit of a jockey white bro. But throughout the crowd working that he does, you reveal not only how smart he is, but also just like how empathetic and condone and just how literally just how smart he is.
Right.
And you, for the first time in a while, I watched this comedy special and I had a grin throughout
Right.
and literally was laughing out loud, which
Cool.
a lot of comedy specials just don't do.
Doesn't do, yeah.
So he's got these little prompts about Christmas time, best present, or the naughty and the nice list. What have you done that's naughty? What did you do this year that was nice? And just how he uses the crowd. And also what makes that so special is I think that is one of the better tests of a comedian is how well they do their crowd work, because that means they're thinking on their feet, they coming up with the jokes in the moment, which is a
100%.
lot harder than
Yeah.
scripting these like perfect one-person shows.
100%.
And so I think that was one of the better tests of his comedy. But when you watch a lot of his social media stuff, the most viral and the best moments are these crowd work moments. So either him or someone close to him was like, I think this is your forte,
Right.
and let's do a little Christmas thing where you just do crowd work.
Okay.
And
Cool.
it's delightful. So for me, that was like, I watched it recently, but I cannot think of anything else this year that made me laugh as much as that.
Okay. This is the best thing I saw this year on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh.
YouTube is like an entirely legitimate platform. I think it's very easy to dismiss it because of
Yes.
the hundreds of hours of nonsense that is
Yeah.
uploaded to YouTube every single hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But there's a lot of very high quality stuff also put on there.
Agreed.
It's just few and far
100%.
between. So
Agreed.
there's a channel called Folding Ideas. It's a dude named Dan Olson. He made a video this year called Man Tracks, which is about the discovery of a trackway in Texas in the Paluxy River, what a name, of fossilized dinosaur footprints, which was then, it very quickly becomes about how a group of young Earth creationists come along, claim that there are human footprints fossilized alongside the dinosaur footprints, which proves that humans and dinosaurs lived with each other, which proves that the Earth is only a few thousand years old, which proves that the Bible is entirely literal.
Okay.
It's a great documentary.
Okay.
Wow.
It's so good.
So were there actually these footprints?
No, they're just dinosaur footprints.
Okay.
They just like manipulate them and like lie about them, and it's all absolute nonsense.
But he's not one of these people.
No,
he's
no.
He's just making
This is something that
this-
happened like in like the 40s, I think.
Okay.
Yes, he's just telling the story of the guy who actually discovered them, and then how this other group comes in and kind of tries to take ownership of the whole thing and insert their own narrative about, you know, humans and dinosaurs because they want the world to be a few thousand years old. It's
So
really
wild.
good. He did another similar one a few years ago called In Search of a Flat Earth, which is about flat earthers. Well, the first like 15 minutes is about flat Earth, and then he goes into this thing about how it's all about how people buy into conspiracies.
Yeah.
Instead, because he does this little experiment and just proves, like using his camera, the Earth isn't flat. Just using his own little thing.
Yeah,
And
you
it
can
works
very
perfectly.
easily do the experiment.
Yes.
I mean, there's a very simple experiment, but
Yeah,
there's
a
just
number
one of these.
ways you can do it.
It's just one of these, a handful of these amazing moments where it's like, why do we have to do this in 2025? Like,
Yes.
why do we
Yeah.
really have to prove it?
Yeah.
But most importantly is like, how are people legitimately living their day, believing such things?
I had
know,
a
that's the-
situation
that's-
like this week. I went to go get a coffee in Melville, and this sweet homeless man came up to me and was like, "You know, the Earth's flat, hey?" And I was like, "Okay."
You say so?
And he went into it. He got really into it, and he was
Oh.
like, "No, this is why." I can't remember exactly what he said because he was just speaking really fast.
Right.
But he really believed it. You know, people believe.
Interesting.
But I mean, there are the homeless folks in Melville, but then
Yeah.
there's also like people who like are smart, legitimate contributors. You know, real contributors to society that
Yeah.
are like very much believing these things, and it's astounding.
Yeah. I have a couple runners up I want to list off quickly.
Yeah.
A channel called Let Me Know, like Let Me Know, but Let Me Know is one word, did a video called Shouting at Stars, A History of Interstellar Messages, which is about all the messages and like signals that we've sent into space over the years.
Wow.
Super interesting. Jacob Geller's video, Fantasies of Nuremberg, which is about the Nuremberg trials. In fact, Jacob Geller's whole channel, that dude's videos are incredible.
Well, we're going to get a Nuremberg film beginning of next year with Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, yeah.
Cool.
I watched it last week
Oh, cool.
as an exhibitor. Yeah.
Nice. And then Lindsay Ellis's video and Yoko Ono, also super fascinating.
Interesting. Okay.
Really good video.
Lovely.
Yeah.
No, YouTube is incredible.
It's an incredible
It's probably
platform.
my most used
Yeah,
platform.
same.
and it
Easily.
and it makes sense that it thrives the way that it does
Mm.
and is slowly dominating the world.
You've got
Yeah.
little pockets for
Yes.
everyone, you know, like
Exactly.
everyone.
Tiny
Every
little
niche is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched some cool stuff. I appreciate the history things. I appreciate the geography stuff where you're like, why is that weird little enclave, and how you have this little bit of this country inside of this country, and the stuff about borders. I've said this before on the show, is that weirdly enough, I get a lot of construction mega
okay.
project stuff. Something about that for me is fascinating.
My pockets and my algorithm is diving videos. Just
Right.
diving.
Scuba diving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just diving videos, shark videos, cave diving. Like that's,
Have you scuba dived?
I've never.
You're
Yeah.
looking at a advanced nitrous diver.
Wow.
I'm certified.
Nice.
No, we've done a lot of stuff. Handful of dives around the world, but for me, probably one of the coolest things was diving a World War II wreck
Wow.
You've
in the
spoken
Red
about
Sea.
this on the show.
Wow.
The Thistlegorn, for
cool.
those who know scuba diving
That's
wrecks. The
insane.
Thistlegorn is quite special. Yeah. No, it's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
This is so random, but when I was in Zimbabwe recently, I spoke to this prophet and he told me, don't go diving. You actually can't go diving right now. And I was planning for my birthday and he was like, mm-mm. And he just knew. He knew I was obsessed with diving. I don't know how he knew, but he was just like, you in deep water? Mm-mm. And I was like, okay.
No, I think you'll be fine. But it definitely does take qualification, understanding, and knowing.
You have to.
My favorite was about a year ago being in Zanzibar, where they speak Swahili. So there's a lot of you're hearing a lot of Lion King throughout your trip. So everyone's your Rafiki, and they love, because it's a very international place. There's not a lot of South Africans. If you go to Mauritius, every second person's a South African.
Yeah.
But in Zanzibar, what I loved the most about that trip was that you didn't actually hear South Africans in the resort or around you. It was all Europeans and Americans. But at one point we were scuba diving for the first time in a while. So I was a little bit nervous just to get the checks and remember everything. And the dude was like, nah, don't worry, Hakuna Matata. And I was like, no, dude. No. You don't say Hakuna Matata when it comes to breathing underwater.
Oh my God.
I need you to not be Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Funny. Let's at this point look to hear from Sam. Samantha is a lovely new addition to the podcast. She was brought in just a few months ago, a dear friend who I've known for many years from Varsity, and also just like Perrin, just such a deep knowledge and love of film. And she's also an incredible filmmaker in her own right. The film Do Your Worst is on Netflix. This is her debut feature, and she was a guest at the time, and it was certainly one of our most listened to episodes. And then it was such a treat to bring her back and have her be someone who could work shifts behind the counter. So let's hear from Sam.
I think 2025 has been an amazing year for cinema. I'm going to give you some of my faves of the year, but I also just want to caveat that with saying, there's a bunch of things I haven't seen this year that I wish I had, and those are Begonia, Die My Love, Sentimental Value, Jay Kelly, Wake Up Dead Man, and Eddington, all still to watch. I think for me, without question, the best movie of the year, the best movie-going experience I had was Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another. Just such a great experience, and also such a great experience to have gone into with never having seen a trailer for the film, never having read anything about the film. It's just such a ride. Okay, biggest swing. I am going to say something controversial. I'm not going to say the biggest swing from an artistic perspective. I think the biggest swing that was taken this year is that we did something original. We put money behind it, and thank God it paid off. So for me, the biggest swing of the year was Sinners. Was Warner Brothers taking a shot on Sinners. And I'm so happy they did, because I had such a good time in that movie, and I think I'm not alone in that. And I hope that whatever the outcome is of the sort of Netflix, Warner Brothers, Paramount love triangle, that we don't stop getting big swings. My most gooey moment of the year was the handshake in Materialists, which I think genuinely is where the film should have ended. There's this beautiful moment of the sort of Chris, one of the Chris's. There's this sort of beautiful moment of Chris Evans' character and Dakota Johnson outside the house where they sort of agree to kind of give each other a shot, and instead of a kiss, they do a handshake. And I just think it's so much more powerful than some of the other sort of more romantic scenes in that film. And then my personal kind of little throw in here is best montage of the year. I love a montage. I love it when a film gets to the middle and goes, you know what, we're going to put some music to this. We're going to roll on through a whole bunch of scenes that are going to tell us something about these characters, about this story. And unquestionably, the best montage of the year was in Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson's fantastic comedy, The Naked Gun. This montage has little to nothing to do with the story. It is outrageous. It is its own story, which fundamentally changes genres and becomes something else. But just based on the sort of like insane, like Mad Libs kind of scattered, kind of improvisational nature of that movie, it just had me laughing from start to finish. I hope you guys have a wonderful festive season. I hope you guys enjoy this 200th episode, and thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Samo. Yeah. We appreciate you. Let's get into the one thing which has to kind of just be touched on. Cool. Is unquestionably one of the biggest and best movies of the year was One Battle After Another.
Yep.
So that obviously deserves a mention as our most rented. It was one of those that did very well at the Bioscope. And it's also a little bit like Sinners in the sense that it just ticks so many boxes. It was certainly got the world's attention.
Yeah.
And it's a masterpiece of a film.
Yeah. It's incredible.
You haven't seen it yet?
I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
this
I know nothing.
You know nothing. Okay, so this is the Leonardo DiCaprio film.
Okay.
It came out near the second half of this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a film by Paul Thomas Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
who we know from many Oscar darling films, but Boogie Nights, Phantom Thread, Licorice Pizza, There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
Amazing director that is certainly due his flowers, and so that's why a lot of people think he will win Best Director at the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
But it is worth mentioning that in almost 100 Oscars, so we almost have a pie chart, the percentage of diversity amongst the Best Director winners, we have yet to have a black person win Best Director.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The closest we've got is an Asian man, Ang Lee. We have had an Asian woman.
Yeah, Chloe Zhao.
And we've had a white woman.
Yeah.
So we've had women before we've had a person of actual color.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that speaks a lot.
It
To me,
does.
that speaks a lot.
It
That's
does,
a film like Moonlight could win Best Film,
Yeah.
but doesn't get director.
Yeah.
The Spike Lees of the world have won Oscars for their writing. So certainly, and of course, there was that one year where Denzel Washington won for Training Day and Halle Berry won for Monsters Ball, and everyone was like, cool.
We've done it now.
We've done it.
Yes.
This will not be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And then for the next 10 years, those kinds of awards just only went to white dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck. So
Oh, no.
I think Coogler genuinely deserves it.
Give it to him, yeah. Give it
Paul
to him.
Thomas Anderson's got more in him. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a tough one because Paul Thomas Anderson is a guy who's never got it before, despite getting so close so many times.
Yeah.
With this movie, like There Will Be Blood should have gotten it for him.
But then this is also once again pointing out just how silly it should
exactly.
be one winner.
Exactly.
I think the nominees should be the award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you've made it this far and you are now,
Give it to them, yeah.
you know, and that's kind of what we're doing today. We're talking about all these different things that deserve mentions. We can't give it to one thing.
Yeah.
also when it's art, it's so silly. I mean,
It's subjective.
we don't have to talk about this anymore, but they're such uniquely different things.
Yeah.
And so it seems a bit odd that we have to pick one.
Yeah.
Maybe there should just be two.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe two. Maybe you get 4 nominees and then you get sort of like 2 that then get it.
Yeah.
But like any film that is nominated is worthy of winning,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So it's like a nomination is as good as a win, or it should
Yeah.
be.
But I do find it interesting that there's yet to be a black
It's
person
crazy.
that's
Yeah.
won Best
I
Director.
think Ryan Coogler, I don't know if he'll get it this year, but he will get it at some point.
At some
Yeah.
point.
Because he's a young director, so he has a lot of movies left in him.
Yeah.
And if Sinners is like we've seen him do like studio stuff with Creed and, Black Panther. To
Yeah.
see him do like his original, like this is his original
It's
thing.
phenomenal.
It's so exciting, dude. I can't wait to see whatever he does next. Well, he's doing Black Panther 3 next, but whatever his original thing is next
Yeah.
is always going to be super exciting.
Yeah. So just One Battle After Another is just one of those special films.
Great movie.
It's the story of a group of revolutionaries.
Okay.
And they
Like modern day American.
American revolutionaries, and that's the sort of first half of the film is them causing shit and sort of having to go into hiding. It plays around a lot with a transforming America that is, clamping down on immigrants and racism sort of still being rife. So it does sort of point and sort of nudge to sort of Trump's America. But the second half of the film is Leonardo DiCaprio, much older, having been in hiding for many years, now raising a daughter that was birthed out of that era with the mom who's now very much in hiding.
Yeah.
And them slowly being tracked down as members of this radical group.
Okay.
And so the second half is the sort of unraveling of this as they get tracked. Sean Penn plays this militarized General Lockjaw.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible. I think he
Amazing
he
performance.
deserves an Oscar for that. As he sort of tracks them down. It's the
Yes.
relationship between Leonardo DiCaprio and his daughter, played incredibly by Chase Infinity, who's a first-time actor, and she deserves a supporting nod. It's funny.
It's so funny, dude.
It's got incredible action sequences. It's dramatic.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Great movie.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
And everyone's sort of memeing a little now about this one moment where he's in. I don't know whether it's literally Mexico or it's at least just the sort of desert, Arizona-y, New Mexico-y part of America, where Leonardo DiCaprio is communicating with this dude on the side of the road to find out which way this person's going. But he's speaking in Spanish. And very much clearly gets a direction from this Mexican dude. No, that way, hey? Not this way, this way. No, it definitely went this way.
Yeah.
And he ends it with this little whistle,
Yeah.
which everyone has picked up is such a uniquely Spanish-American sort of thing to do. And apparently that came very much from Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
Interesting.
He said in lockdown he spent a lot of time with the like Spanish dudes in his house.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the guys like kind of tending to the garden or
Yeah.
the pool dudes and his housekeepers and stuff. And he just said he noticed how much they used whistling to
Okay.
communicate certain feelings to each other in amongst their actual
Interesting.
language.
Cool.
And so he fed that in this moment. And everyone's picked up on like how authentic that whistle is. And everyone
Yes.
said like that whistle deserves its own Oscar.
Cute.
So that little moment deserves an award here at the video store
Cool.
for, I guess, best funny moment or best sort of memeable moment
Yes.
is the Leonardo DiCaprio whistle.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Since I knew that was going to happen, my last category is my second favorite movie of the year.
Okay.
Okay,
Because
cool.
I knew someone else was going to do one battle after another.
Yes.
Second favorite movie after the year. We don't need to get into it too much. We spoke about it a lot, but it's Superman.
Oh, cool.
I loved Superman.
Okay.
I thought it was so wonderful. Again, it just comes down to this thing of, we spoke about this a lot, does the movie get the character?
Yes.
You know, as opposed to Zack Snyder's, grumpy, gritty, violent, mean Superman. Does this movie understand Superman fundamentally as a character? And it totally does. Okay. And that's why it succeeds at what it's doing. And I loved it.
Good. I went in expecting it to be sort of radically different, and then there was certainly a point halfway through where I was like, oh, I'm a 40-year-old and this is a superhero movie. But I appreciated talking to you, Graham. I appreciated Gad. I appreciated the people who could bring to the table what made Superman authentic and different to other characters.
I think what sets it apart is how just sincere it is.
Yeah.
That's the thing that we don't see in superhero movies a lot. They're very corporate. They're very safe by the numbers.
Yeah.
This is a very sincere, very earnest film, which suits Superman as a character so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it was cool to get that from you. I got more excited about it from you,
Right.
which meant a lot.
Yeah. I think the cast is wonderful. The new dude, David Corn Sweat, excellent choice. Nicholas Hoult is really good in this, as well as Lex Luthor. Yeah. Mr. Terrific is probably the best part of the whole movie.
Who was that?
That's what's this dude's name? I remember when I mentioned it, you told me he thought his name was very cool. He's just he's
He was
really
the
cool.
black dude.
Yeah, the dude with the big T, literal big T on his face.
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific. He's great. I can't remember the actor's name.
But now you got to find it because
I am looking
apparently
it up. Talk amongst yourselves.
Apparently, he has a very cool name.
His name's Eddie Gathegi. I think that's how you pronounce it. I might be wrong about that.
I've got my top horror of the year.
Yes.
Cool.
So I was about to say, all of us have our own unique things. For Russell, it's the gooey.
Yes.
For Graham, it's the big swing. For Cole, it's the Cole shriek. And I think, Marigold, you've famously come in with the
The spooky stuff.
the more spooky. So Marigold's most spooky.
Yes, my most spooky would have to be Together.
Okay.
That took us for a ride. Like, we were not okay after we watched that movie. That would be my top horror, definitely, for the year, with Alison Brie and Dave Franco.
Yeah.
I never watched it.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it.
It's hectic.
We sent you to the premiere.
Yeah.
And I tend to, coming from the guy who has the most gooey award, I tend to shy away from those kinds of movies. What did you love about it?
I loved it was really special to watch it with Seth.
Okay.
Because we have Seth is my best friend and we have a very codependent relationship.
Okay.
So it was a fantastic movie to watch with him because they quite literally, without spoiling too much, mesh together, this couple.
Yes.
And they're going through their own relationship issues and now they're joined literally at the hip.
Yeah.
So it was a really good metaphor also for just a relationship that's failing, and people dealing with separation, and trying to separate from each other but not being able to. The experience in the cinema was very wild. There was like a huge peanut gallery and people screaming and laughing, and there were scenes that Seth and I were like, oh my God, like shaking, and everyone's laughing, and we were like, why are they laughing at this? This is horrible. Like, we had taken like photos of each other like before, like smiling, and then afterwards we were completely like, it looked like we had run a marathon after watching it.
Interesting. Hey.
It was brilliant though. It was really, but it was also kind of stupid at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
There were stupid moments. Like
that knew they were stupid?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Like, it was terrifying in a lot of ways, but also just a little bit ridiculous. Like, you could definitely have a few laughs in there.
Cool, and you need those. You can't just have a drag through the mud.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Cool.
So, for all of those who remember the video store days, if you were returning a film before the video store opened, there was the little hatch. Do you remember the little hatch?
Mm-hmm.
The little hole in the wall that you had to put all your DVDs in. And it was a great way to receive all people's returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we have a few of our treasured guests These are some of the folks who have been incredible guests over the years, and they have left us returns. We reached out to a few of them, and it was lovely to hear from them.
Cool.
So I think let's kick it off with Donovan Goliath, and then we're going to do all of them in one go.
2025 has been an interesting year for film and TV. Or is it TV and film? What's the correct order? Anyway, we've seen a few hits, but an even greater amount of misses, in my opinion. One of my standout things, though, has been there's been a lot of experimentation with visual styles. I think, we've seen a lot of filmmakers lean into cinematography quite a bit here to tell their stories, which I've loved seeing. This is across both film and TV. My favorite films of the year, I'm going to give it to one battle after another. I think that's going to be on everybody's list. It's exceptional storytelling, just brilliant performances by the cast. So good. Frankenstein, I'm a huge Del Toro fan, so that was always going to make my list. It is a visual masterpiece, every frame a painting. Fantastic Four, great superhero film. Very, very good. Loved that. Went in with no expectations, and I just just really, really, really good. Zootopia 2, guys, 10 out of 10, absolutely perfect, no notes. You have to, if there's any film that you're going to watch to close off your year, just watch Zootopia 2. Just, oh my gosh, so good. In terms of TV, The Studio, Pluribus has had me in quite a chokehold. Adolescence, of course, and then a bit of a wild card, but a docu-series called Mr. Scorsese on Apple TV. It's about the life of Martin Scorsese. Please, if you love film, if you love cinema, just watch this. It's brilliant. I'm one of my favorite directors of all time. So, I mean, I'm biased, but anyway, I think anybody will love it. So all of these films, all of these TV shows deserve their flowers, but the biggest bunch of flowers has to go to the video store for hitting its 200th episode. Guys, do you know how difficult it is to make 200 episodes and still come out alive? What a time. Well done for doing well. Congratulations, guys.
Hey guys, Themba Robin here, and I am returning Stuart Little, a film that I thoroughly enjoyed for many years, and only up until my recent sit down and conversation with Russell did I realize why. I won't disclose that because you can go back and listen to that episode, but yeah, an enthralling little bit of nostalgia from a time when animation wasn't hectic and just simple storylines and fun times were to be had. Anyways, returning it and looking for another awesome film to take out.
Yo, video store, Nick Hamman here. Congrats on 200 episodes. It's a really cool milestone. I'm looking forward to my third appearance with you guys in 2026. I'm a big listener and I love the show. I'm going to return Tampopo. It's this Japanese film from the late 80s that looks like a simple ramen movie from the surface, but it's really this layered love letter to food, community, and the idea of like obsession. It's all about this woman who's trying to protect her bowl of ramen, but then along the way, it becomes about, I guess, like mentorship and ritual and discipline and how food carries memory and meaning, which obviously means a lot to me. And I love how it treats eating as something cultural and almost spiritual, and the idea that food is identity and care and connection, not just fuel. It's weird and it's playful and it's deeply sincere. And so I'm returning it today and recommend you watch it. Huge love to the video store, 200 epis. Here's to the next chapter.
Hello, Nina Hastie here. Congratulations on the 200th episode of the video store. I just wanted to say, look, 2025 was another heavily K-drama viewed year for me. I was watching a lot of K-dramas, and I avoided one in particular, but it was mentioned to be the best K-drama of 2025. I haven't seen it because I know it's one that'll make me cry. It's a recommendation by everyone called When Life Gives You Tangerines. So if you're okay with your heart being absolutely obliterated, watch that. I'm a big fan of period dramas. There is one with my favorite actor, E.J. Wook, which is called Dear Hongrang, which is very cool. And there were a lot of really cute sort of modern entry, like good entry level K dramas. If you've never watched a K drama, one called Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, which is a period drama, but it kind of like period drama meets Master Chef. And there were like these cookouts between these rival nemesis chefs and this chick that gets transported from the future to the past. And she's actually like a French cuisine chef. And she lands up having to cook for this tyrant in the 1400s or something. So that's pretty cool. If you've never watched K-dramas and you maybe want to try out something like that, that's pretty cool. And there were some really dark ones. If you're into like Skopskiet and Donner, there's one called No Mercy, and this guy basically just obliterates people for like ages. He just kills everyone. He just like he claps them, he hits them with a sledgehammer, he just doesn't stop. And he does it with a limp as well, which is amazing. Like, how is this guy just killing everyone left, right, and center with a limp? And then there's one, if you're into like dark sort of thrillers with the like crime solvey ones, there's one called 9 Puzzles about a serial killer who leaves these like puzzle pieces behind. It's a really good thriller. Like, it's not even a slow burn. It's like, well, I guess it is a slow burn. It's a slow burn, but very twisted, if you're into that kind of thing. There was something that came out, I think it was actually at the end of last year, but if you have never watched a show called Mask Girl, it's very dark and very intense. I'm here for a revenge story. I love revenge, conceptually, and basically, it's a big revenge story of this chick who's a streamer. She does like a strip stream kind of thing, like an OnlyFans, but she wears a mask, and then she gets identified and recognized by someone in her office, and then goes on this like. There's like a killing spree. I'm not going to tell you who does the killing, but there's a killing spree. So if you're into that, there's that. And then there's like some beautiful romances, like an office romance thing called The Potato Lab. That was adorable. If you're into the rom-coms, I like the rom-coms. They make me feel good. But yeah, I mean, I'm here for all your K-drama references and referrals and reviews. Let me know if there's something that you'd like to know about K-drama, and I will gladly get back to you within 7 to 14 business days. Okay. You have a good Christmas, and congratulations on 200 episodes. Bye.
Lovely.
Yeah.
We appreciate them.
Absolutely.
And they made such great episodes. So for those who perhaps want to listen to more of that person, we'll have some links to our guest episodes with them.
Cool.
But it's always nice hearing what other people
Yeah.
want to do as returns. And in a very similar vein, this is something that we want to hear from you. Anyone who's busy browsing the shelves, listening to this conversation now, at the bottom of our at the bottom of our episode description is how you can send us a similar voice note.
Yeah.
You can email it to us, or you can send it directly through Instagram, where you are returning stuff. So also just know that at any point in time, you can always message us, and we'll play those on the show.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
Number 200.
Number 200. Thank you for sharing this lovely moment with us.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you for everyone who comes back every week. And even if you just listen to one or two.
Yeah.
And we're there on your feed, and you maybe pop into the video store every now and again. We treasure you. And we're going to keep doing this because we love it. 2026 is going to be a very interesting year,
Yes.
at least for me. I'm going to disappear for a little bit around Jan and Feb as I get into the tender moments of fatherhood.
Yeah.
But life has to return, and I will certainly come back after a little stint.
Cool.
Another thing that's exciting is that in our Christmas, New Year wormhole, when we all are going to travel, we've got some special episodes that will hopefully be published.
Yes.
These are unfiltered chats between Cole and Graham about Star Wars, which we've long since joked.
We've been threatening you with for years.
Yes, we've long since joked that you two needed to be left alone to get that off your chest.
Very much.
And so that is coming your way as well.
Yep.
So lovely.
Awesome.
It's all going to be great. And yeah, for all those traveling, we wish you a lovely festive season, a safe season. And if you've got nothing to do, there's always the video store.
Exactly.
All right. And so wherever you are in the country and the world, we've got some shows for you over this season. And I guess the most important thing is just let us know what your favorites were as well.
Absolutely.
So in the comments of Instagram and over on our Facebook group, please let us know what your best picks. And if you've got any special awards or categories, we'd love to hear them. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Very
you so
good.
much.
Have a good time, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.